and again continue my journey. And let's look what is over here.
Last I saw, he was in the mess, as always.
And okay, home sweet home. Speak with Otto. And I look, okay, it looks like this. So it seems that Hideaway has gone through some changes.
Finish with that log so we can call it a morning. Almost done.
And it seems that we are now representing Sid. So that feels a little bit odd, but it seems to be a situation currently.
Otto will want to know what happened in Cosmos. I expect he'll be in the mess.
Again? I seen schoolboys swing harder.
There seems to be a training area here.
Sid!
Staying on this time?
Okay, view looks nice.
Clive. Is everything all right?
Well, somebody remembers correct name or the original name. Or someone.
All operations are suspended until further notice.
Yes, Captain. I'll let the others know.
There is minimap.
Ah, there you are, Clive. Word of your adventures arrived this morning. Victor sends us thanks.
I doubt Kupka will miss the fools he sent to catch me. Not a single one of the bearers we saved showed any interest in coming with us. No one seems keen to join hands with an outlaw. Any news while we were away?
None worth mentioning. Gav's still off keeping an eye on the Republican army. Should be back any day now.
Understood. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the map room.
Aha. Now we need to...
Still can't work that one out. There must be better places than the hull of a gutted airship to bury your nose in a book.
Yet this is where she's chosen to be. And I'm sure she has her reasons.
It seems that now we need to do those things what Sid used to do. So we are playing the role of Captain of Hideaway.
Have you finished sorting those reports yet?
Finished? I ain't started. Been busy enough with my own work.
You're pulling my leg, aren't you? Otto's gonna skin me alive.
Aha, there is Moogle. Let's see what. Nectar. There is something later will happen with this board. Speak with Vivian. Vivian.
I'd trust I'm not intruding.
Back from your mission? I'm beginning to think your habit of surviving cannot be attributed to luck alone.
One might say the same of you, Vivian Ninetails.
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life, and none was especially memorable. So, to what do I owe the honor? Could it be that you've come for one of my lessons?
Is that so hard to believe?
Very well then. Shall we start with the state of the realm? To absolutely no one's surprise, she finds herself at the mercy of armies and outlaws. Well, mostly armies. Though that's not for want of trying, is it, Clive? But the real question is, how did we get here? Long though Sambrek's dominion over northeastern Storm has endured, recent days have seen the Blight wrest ever more land from her grasp. For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly for every blade of grass bent beneath Sambrequois boots. Little wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline dominion, an altogether easier target, possessed of no less ether. It was 5 years ago, while you were busying yourself with the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move, subjugating its theretofore neutral neighbor. A nation which could legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans the Twins. The non-aggression treaty was the only thing keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation, it is only a matter of time before others reply in kind. The Holy Empire, the Dhalmekian Republic, the Kingdom of Waloed, and of course, our friends in Yaran. Who will be left standing, I wonder, when the last drop of blood is spilled?
You were born in Twinside. Do you not fear for your home?
Oh, dark clouds are wont to gather over the Dominion. Yet in spite of it all, she has ever endured. And when the storm has passed, I am confident she will remain. Now, as to the matter of payment for today's lesson, complete a simple errand for me and we shall consider ourselves even.
Even? Right.
Return this volume to old tomes in the shelves. Tell him it was adequate.
We are visiting old
Visit
tomes.
our resident historian.
Ah, my favorite pupil.
We can
I admit,
when I took my profession bonnet and began teaching at the University of Conway, I didn't think for a moment that I would one day count the seat outlaw among my pupils. But nor did I imagine that my fellow educators would have designs on my life, and we both know how that ended, has it been a year older. Such is the peril of an overly inquisitive mind. I suppose one is fond to uncover that with others would go great lengths to ensure remained hidden. Were it not for you and our mutual friend having come to the rescue, my curiosity would likely have proved fatal. But instead I wasn't all said, but granted a new lease of life. as personal tutor to a band of outlaws, no
A
less
far more reputable fellowship.
than anything in the academic world, I assure you. Okay, this we have already asked. Crystalline Dominion.
My beloved homeland.
The crossroads of Valistia, where one only has to stroll the streets to hear news from every far-flung corner of the realm. Its mother crystal yields more shards than any other, and its lands even now remain untouched by the blight. There is one area that is untouched. It's blessed country indeed.
Or at least it was.
And the Encyclopedia elected to invade and establish a new holy capital upon twin side. Year before neutral source. To see the land I love so saints, and even more to know that I didn't predict it. I knew that Emperor Sylvester has designs of the Dominion, but to abandon Oriflamme, the seat of Holy Empire, since its inception, seemed too audacious a move even for him. Okay, now we have asked toast.
One would think.
My role was apparently clear by now. I offer you and yours the guiding light of knowledge, that of matters military and political, both past and present, that it might illuminate your way ahead. For it's only understanding what has come before that one might steer one's way toward a brighter future. Your role, meanwhile, is to ensure that I remain furnished with as much information on the state of the realm as your people can master, in order that I might continue to appraise the disposition of the great nation and those who rule them. And of course, to pay attention during my lections. It wouldn't do a point the storied Ninetales as your tutor, only to disregard her expert advice. Maybe I'll just repeat once more.
Allow me to educate you.
The state of the realm, by peeking with Vivian in the Hideaway's maps room, the Clive can view the state of the realm and learn more about the current goings in Valistia, revisit any of the Ninetales' past lessons, or take a deeper look at the relationships of those individuals in Clive's orbit. A comprehensive grid of important persons and their respective relationships. Allow me to educate you. Okay, let's
I have the
look.
details here.
The Grand Cast. Here you can view detailed visualization of characters' relationship in Final Fantasy XVI that updates as you progress through the main scenarios. Use to cycle through pivotal milestones in Clive's advance. There is Rosaria marches with the blight pressing at Rosaria borders and forcing ever more citizens on the Dahi from their homes. Archduke rallies his nation to take up arms against the Iron Kingdom and frustrate spread from their grasp. Yet tradition dictates that they must first march north to Phoenix Gate to perform. So this was the reason why we went to Phoenix Gate to perform rite of ancestral communion. Okay, if we press X, we probably see profile. I think some of these I have probably seen when I was in Thousand Tomes. An imperial bearer turned deserted after refusing to slay until timely invention of seed. It is I know. Icon awaits him and he discovers a dominant of fire. Yes. My wife of she presents Clive a set of clothes that once belonged to his father. Okay. He is something more, not only the firstborn of Archdukes of Rosaria, but also the dominant of Ifrit, with the ability to absorb the powers of other icons. In the 5 years since the fall of Drake's head, the death of his mentor, he and Jill has tried to continue Seed's legacy. The light of Ramuh forever in his heart. After Seed fell and his hideaway was reduced to rubble at the hands of Hukugabga, Clive took on board his predecessor's name and role. Okay, so this is current. Becoming the second Seed the Outlaw and the leader of the re-established resistance. Together with other survivors and their new recruits, he continues Seed's mission to emancipate Pierres and the realm of Mother Crustos. Let's look this. Puppy, Clive's faithful friend, brought back from one of Archduk's Elfin's expeditions to the frozen northern territories, where he was found half-starved and shivering snowfield. This I didn't know. Having presumably been separated from his pack, Elvin gifted the puppy to Clive upon his return, and the two became inseparable. So cases this puppy was Torgal. Clive's faithful friend brought back Baal, Archduk Elfin, from one of his expeditions to the frozen northern territories, where he was found puppet until the tragic event at Phoenix Gate tore them apart. However, the paths were to cross again some 13 years later, when Torgal's new master Seed came to life rescue in the depths of the Nyssa Defile. Despite their long years apart, the two knew each other as if not a single day has passed since their separation. And this reminds how you know old friend. In intervening years, Torgal not only grew into fine hound, but met with Seed, who trained him to work as hunting dog. After meeting with Clive again, Torgal gladly returns to the service of his former master. Clive's faithful friend, he is fiercely protective of him and his allies. Not as he loses his best friend again and never strays far from Clive's side, putting the hunting skills Seed taught him to use in fending off foes and picking up trails. Mikä Jill. Castle saw Clive and Joshua, who came to love her as a sister. When she waved the brothers farewell on the day they departed for Felix Gate, little did she know of the misfortune that awaited both of them and her. Jill came close to falling to her assassin's blade, but was spared at the last moment. Clive's memories of their time together came flooding back. Dominant of Siva and trusted confidant of Clive, leader of the new Hideaway, So okay, it's confirmed here. Together they continue Cid's mission to emancipate bearers and rid the realm of mother crystals. Maybe I check this. It's life for carrots, less so. Whose murderous rampage led both the castle and the Phoenix Law. After being captured by Benedict's Dust intelligence, so it was actually Joshua who was captured and imprisoned. He slipped free from his bond and escaped to Phoenix Gate. Dominant of Phoenix and former heir to the ducal throne, Joshua was thought to have died at the hands of the second icon of fire during the disaster at Phoenix Gate. However, he is very much alive, traveling the realm even now. His true identity hidden by heavy cowl and assumed name that of Lord Margrace. Phoenix-bearing bloodline, see dotes on Joshua and scorns Clive. 5 hard to Kelvin and Matov to Clive and Joshua. It was not only her beauty, but her connection to bloodline that produced many previous dominants of Phoenix that led to her being proposed as a bride for young Archduke. Indeed, the two are cousins. Daughters of Rosaria, 5 hard Kelvin and Matov, Clive and Joshua. It was ever her purpose in life to preserve her Phoenix-bearing bloodline, for which reason she betrayed her husband, that she might enter in league with the 4 Caesars mightier, the Holy Empire of Sunbreaker. It was. Now she rules over Rosaria in the imperial province, which she rules with cruelty and contempt for the baseborn, unknown in Archduke Kelvin's day. It's a couple of this we know, and this we know. How this works. If you press R1, Night of the Flames, there comes those little, okay, so when you press R1, time-lapse goes on and something happens here. So Elvin is a disease in this moment. And now there is this dominant of fire. Now okay, over here is believed dead. So then we go ahead and death in defile. The Iron Kingdom and Holy Crusade is on the march once more, this time in the arid faces of Dalmaker, where the Republic masters in the main host steps of Nysa defile. Alarmed by the size and ferocity of Ironblood Horde, Dalmek's call on the aid of long-standing followed as two sides meet each other in bloody battle. small group of Imperial soldiers infiltrates the fray in pursuit of their own target. I'll just check how this profile changes. When we go, we will see everything step by step. Cloak and daggers. And okay, here you are able to see timeline, what is happening and when. So Battle of Pelennus story is in this timeline, part of time. To him comes salvation at the Kingfall. End of Eastpool. Acting on the orders of Empress Annabella, Imperial soldiers sack Eastpool and put villagers to the sword. Aha, okay, I remember this. Onward to Oriflamme. With ever more Imperial land being lost to the Blight, the whole Emperor and his council make plans to march on the crystalline dominion in pursuit of greener pasture. But as they ready their allegiances, Clive and Jill plot an invasion on their own to infiltrate holy capital of Oriflamme and redouble Empire foes. Drakeheads Falls. And now here, 5 years has passed since fall of Drake's Head, and yet the legend of Sid Outlaw lives on. Clive has adopted both his fallen friend's name and his cause, and now leads the rebuilt Highway efforts to liberate Pierres in the Sid state. Instead, then I just...
One must understand one's place in the world.
Situation map. Here you can view detailed overview of current past events relevant to Clive's story that update as you progress through the main scenario. Use cycle through before the milestone in Clive's advance. I just look a little bit. Rosaria marches. When with Blight pressing at Rosaria borders and forcing ever more citizens of the duchy from their homes, Ardugelvin rallies his nation and take up arms against the Iron Kingdom, and Westrake, bred from their crafts, the tradition dictates that they must first march north to Phoenix Gate to perform the rites of ancestral communion. Air 1, the Night of Flames. Acting in concert with the treasure Duchess Annabella, Imperial forces attack Phoenix Gate from the chaos arise to icons of fire. The fateful battle between them reduces all the ash. Says it. Sunbreaker. As soon as word of death of Rosacer, leader and dominant, reaches the Iron Island, they invade, encountering little resistance on the road to Rosalind. So it was Sunbreaker, not to be outdone. Sunbreaker launches an invasion of its own, driving crusaders from the source of storm incorporating the Dutch in the empire. Death of Defile. The Iron Kingdom Unholy Crusade is on the march once more, this time in the arid faces of Dalmatia, where the Republic mustered its main host in the depths of Nysa Efal. Alarmed by the size and ferocity of Ironblood Horde, the Dalmakians call on the aid of their long-standing ally Valud as a type as two sides meet each other in bloody battle. A small group of Imperial soldiers infiltrates the fray in pursuit of their own target. Iron Kingdom and then Dalmakian. The Kaer Norwen, they work in Lost Wing, Dan, Benedicta, and her intelligence spreads to Kaer Norwen, where they overthrow and occupy the poorly guarded Imperial outpost. There they hold the Dominion at the dense captive, that they might capture him in turn. Cadudes race, Idan Clive, Lester Valvede's force occupying Kaer Norwen, and combination of Benedicta's winds and dominant of fires, flame finish the rout. Shaking the castle, its foundation got down by Clive, Benedicta flees, only to set upon by footpaths on the road, and losing what little grip remains on her power. Battle of Pelennor. As battle rages atop Pelennor between the legions of Sambrica and Royal Knights of Valud, holding a Bahamut class in the skies above them, neither side is able to take upper hand, leading to a bloody stalemate. With the holy capital in disarray and reinforcement not forthcoming, it falls to Prince Dion to break it. Salvation at the King's Fall. Sid's rendezvous with Cav at King's Fall is forestalled by the presence of Imperial soldiers in hot pursuit. It falls to Clive to save the harried scout from certain death, after which he is only too willing to share what he knows of the dominant fire, who fled from Kaer Norwen, that the man and his adjutant make for the former Duchy of Rosaria. Duchy despoiled, Clive and Jill returned to Rosaria to find a lot of Pierre's has planned since Annabella became grand. However, in the northern reaches, they discover vestiges of Old Duchy, the village of Eastpool, where Pierres who fled to Rosalie upon its sacking the Ironblood remain to this day. Their protectors unwilling to surrender them to the Imperial Constabulary. The end of Eastpool, acting on the orders of Empress Annabella, Imperial soldiers sacked Eastpool and put the villagers to the sword, all of the crime of harboring Pierres without the Empire consent. Meanwhile, in Dalmatia, Harpocrates orders his men to hunt down Sid, the man he believes murdered his lost love. So I think this is some kind of misunderstanding here. Drake's head falls, plunging all of Oriflamme in the panic and despair. From the ruins arises a rumor that the cracking of magic crystal was the work of Sid and his outlaw band. The Empire's new dominion. Hideaway, Sid's hideaway and now current hideaway. They have moved a little bit. To build a new home in the heart of Penomware. With the realm still reeling from Sid's destruction of Drake's head, Holy Emperor Sylvester sees the Crystalline Dominion's neutrality treaty cast to the bar. He forces quickly overwhelmed the twin-size defenses, securing the city as the new capital of Holy Empire. Okay, current situation. Sun-African consent of Kurstalan dominance is complete, but while Dalmican army amasses near the dominance border, the dominant Kupokapka is rather more interested in tormenting his own nation's bearers or to ensnare seek to outlaw the one he believes murdered his love. So, Kapka, there seems to be a fatal misunderstanding.
Very good.
Historia of Wallenstein. The signing of Continental Accord marks the beginning of a modern era of Valistia, where the realm had once been driven by hatred and mistrust. The Accord built bridges, affecting many of the areas of realm-wide cooperation that persist to this day. The shared currency, shared calendar, and common system of better ownership chief among its epoch-making achievements. Alas, in the years since the Accord signing, many of these old rifts have reopened. It's for us to follow in the steps of our forebears, who wholeheartedly endeavor to usher in a new age of peace and unity. Okay, so there was just a little info. And then old maps. So this is a little bit kind of curiosity to just to see how this new place looks like.
Lady Tyre is performing a delicate operation and must not be disturbed.
Aha, Taria. Taria is now here. I just hope it's romantic.
No one works longer or harder than our Otto. You can scour the whole of Storm and Ash, and you won't find a better man.
And Otto actually also sounds like a Finnish name. But I also know that it's very typical German name also. Let's look what is here. Aha, it seems that we can read, there are different kind of books. Compendium of Rosarian verse. The rills run red with brave men's blood, and the talons flow in flood. Then out to sea, but those same souls whose souls are touched by flames in phoenix claws are clutched, and never shall die. So dry thine eyes, thy groom is gone, but in thy babe his light lives on, and so shall he. And then it suddenly ends. Someone is sleeping. And then there are someone reading book. Was there any name for this location? The banks, What do we have here? The Haven. Arium.
Shirley says I can't go and play until I finish my sums.
Well then hurry up and finish them! You need 3 for curling geese.
There must be very nice view in this area. Balkan. Seaside view. Someone.
Ah, Sid. We were just about to start our next lesson. You're welcome to join us, but be warned. I tolerate absolutely no tomfoolery. Sid, we were just about to start our next lesson. You're welcome to join us, but be warned. I tolerate absolutely no tomfoolery.
Okay, so this is almost like school area. There must be some kind of alphabets here. Okay, they are learning alphabets, I suppose. Okay, this we visited. And I think, speak with, okay, we need to meet Harpocrates. And okay, map room we have already visited. What is over here? Okay, this combines. Redstone is now here. Then we have orchestration, shop, forge, for of memories. This sounds like knitting. And also here you can go. Do we need to? We need to go here. So we can use those steps also. I just check if there is anything. Okay, I have talked to her or with her.
Everyone seems so happy to see us. It's good to be home.
Okay, Jill is here. And then, okay, here we have shop. Maybe I just check what they are selling here.
Does that one have blood on it?
Charon. Charon, old acquaintance.
They won't hear me complaining.
It's even roomier than the old one was. Okay, seems like a better. Got my own stores, my own little account. And thanks to you not fighting the good fight, plenty of demand for me fares.
The only drawback?
The constant bloody racket. If it's not Doris and Otto's barking their orders, it's Blackthorns and Bardolph banging away day and night.
Still?
If pain in the earth hole, your hole. The price I have to pay to be sit outlaw partners in crime, I'll say I've got myself a bargain. Okay, we asked this one then, past 5 years. Has it really been 5 years since we left the old place? How time flies.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Vivian all waiting to treat Sid to the hero's welcome when Kupka's lot turned up. Not that we knew it was them. They just poured in like a plague of rats, cutting down anyone and anything that stood in their way. Blood and bodies everywhere. There was a voice crying out for Sid to save us in the midst of it all. I'll never forget those cries. Try as I might.
You're our leader now, Clive.
So. Promise me you won't let anything like that happen again. Promise me that come what may, Sid will save us.
Go on then.
Okay, I check what is new, or is there. Coral's word was something what I found in previous episode. It was hidden in the chest. What do we have here? Okay, I think these are something what I have previously used. These are not new. Aha, here is something. Channels, whispers, accessory. Automatically changes magic spells and maintains the charge until cast. Accessory effect will not trigger unless ability charge magic is learned. 20,000. Mating a literal chance can prove as deadly to bearer and unleashing the magic itself. These earrings are believed to assist in the channeling of ether by reducing the amount drawn from the body and augmenting it with ambient ether from the environment. Increases the limit break generation amount by 3% when dealing damage. So there are a couple of new things. Increases limit break generation amount by 6% when taking damage. Breath of Fire, Heat Wave. Breath of Fire, Gambit. Aha, then this is actually nice, owned. You can see if you have any of these items. So actually this one I have already. Then I have enough gil to buy this one. 10,000. Reduces safe wave cooldown time. Golden Testament increases skill. You get more money or more kill if you wear this one. Fortune and Heavens. And okay, more experience if you Pages of Warcraft. Increases ability points earned in normal encounters. This also sounds like a good thing. So there were a lot of new things over here. And of course then 2 new orchestration spells. Each of them is sold for 40,000. And I think you never have enough.
You'll not find a better price than that.
Oh, this costs 10,000. Instantly restores all HP. 10,000 that you get all HP. And then Stone Skin Lion Heart Tonic.
Is that all?
I don't know. Perhaps I should just have black.
Actually, I just remembered from this shop that in previous episode we actually got new item which might be very helpful, and it's actually this. This was the result boss battle with Ultima. Breath of Fire, Flames of Rebirth. I just remembered it. Then what do we have here? Ah, there is also something. Ah, okay, here is arid stone. I just look if there are anything new. Adding up appearance changes the outward appearance of gear without affecting its stats. Here is something that is not known.
Have we any more knuckle pies?
Oh, sadly not. Molly used the last of the chocobo in the stew.
Last of the chocobo. Okay, here is something. To marinate, they are using chocobos for food. To prepare hen by draining blood and removing both head and feet. Offal, partially heart and liver should be set aside for later use. Stir in the deep bowl watered wine, preferably on the red variety, honey, salt, pepper, nutmeg, and any other seasonal savory herbs if you desire. Add to the bowl the dressed bird and let lay in the dark room for a single turn of the sun. Break the breastbone and radio force meat thusly. Chop together the heart and liver of the chocobo and mix with crumb of the stale barn and pepe or kupo not soaked in the boiled cream. Beaten maize and as much thyme as will lie on gilbeny and the wild bird. Lard the breast with boiled bacon and spit the wine, drying it at both ends that the roast meat not spilling the coals. Roast until the skin is golden brown, taking care of the paste regularly with the drippings. Oh, this seems to be Kenneth's recipe. And what do we have? Anything new? Aha! I think this is new song. Our terms. See, so it seems that we got one new song. Just by going. Aha! There is another new song. There are actually two new songs. And I think this sounds very relaxing, nice.
I am a tinker by trade, but I've always been fascinated with the art of healing.
If only there were a salve to mend a broken engine.
I think I check map. Okay, here is something. But let's visit historian. There seems to be a lot of books here. Mithril, a mineral most mighty. Mithril is material of both passing hardened and luster, and it's these two qualities for which is valued by the weapon and armor smiths of the realm. However, the third quality of mithril that sets it apart from the steel or shell, its durance. While even the finest steel may be melted by dragon's fire, become brittle in frigid climes, or turn to rust if not regularly and rightly oiled, mithril is, once made, eternally unchanging. In this volume I will explain how one might go about making, shaping, and employing mithril in one's work.
Said the Hideaway is built inside an airship. Said it was called the Invincible.
Oh, this sounds like there is something familiar, almost like something from Final Fantasy XIV. Simeon's Treasury of Knowledge, Volume Ye 11, Ye Treasury of Pistis, Ye seas which gird royal land of Valstia on all sides, doth churn most frost-eye with divers and deadly creatures. Among these are beasts more prodigious in size than entire islands, yea customary as bloody as ye very dumbers. Yet lo, when they do awaken, towery waves are driven forth, like improper to great mountains. Ye people of ye outer seas, in which these the creatures dwell, do live in great territory of ye withering isles, as certain chronicles may record of they being known.
Oarsman Harpocrates.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
Harpocrates remembers real name. Hand over. Okay, we need the heavy letter-bound tome containing the findings of Van Canver, a renowned theologian who spent most of his life chronicling Valstia's diverse religious history.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same. But alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head. But without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates. See if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones. Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
Not too tired to go filching Kupo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogle.
The twins seem well.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night, from some more than others, and the wounds that remain, they are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
Good day.
There is something.
I should get some rest while I can.
There is something like in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There is also this librarian, Anthony. I just check, because I think...
is yours.
Ask about Hideaway.
Look around you.
While it's a war cry from the Imperial Library in Oriflamme. In 5 short years, we have amassed more volumes than most men or women might hope to see in their lifetime. No longer are the tales they contain hidden away from all but the privileged. We have liberated them that they may feel the minds of all who hunger for knowledge.
Still.
There is much out of there. As long as I draw breath, I shall continue to gather what I can.
Why?
One day a chronicle of your own adventure might even grace these selves, or failing that the flow. Past 5 years.
It has been difficult, certainly.
When Titan visited his flat Upanas on that dreadful night, we lost must. He robbed us not only for our home and our loved ones, but of that which it forth wishes to preserve, our hope. Hope that we might never have found again, had you not taken his name and become our light in the darkness.
Had you not let us hear?
The Pennymoor and the Invisible were among the coast of the wall, and our journey can continue. Here in the belly of Leviathan, untouched by the passing of 1,000 years, does our hope burn brighter than ever, and here may it burn for 1,000 more. Death and Crow.
I still remember.
The day I first met Ted and Crow, chasing their water about the hideaway one moment, clinging to their mother's girdle the next. The twins' love for their parents was something to behold, so fierce and pure. When they passed, I feared the void they left in the sinner's life would never be filled. So the twins have lost their parents. Neither spoke nor smiled for years, hiding themselves away in themselves to bury their sorrows in the leaves of these tomes.
And thank goodness they did.
For I believe the stories prove all come distraction, as over time their pain faded, and now they laugh and frolic once as they once did, if not more vigor. They remind us that no matter how deep our wounds, we all have capacity to heal, and that happiness lost may be found again. And now I check
I
the
have a
time.
few new notes that might interest you.
Okay, we got level 3.
I have quite the find for you today.
Let's look new things what we gathered. The Continental Accord, an international pact made at the dawn of the present era, in which such matters as the treatment of bearers and establishment of realm-wide currency were laid out. It formed the basis of much Palestinian society as it stands today, include the branding of bearers and their status as non-persons. It also put in place a universal calendar, marking symbolic fresh start for mankind, albeit one which put mature users at a crippling disadvantage. Founder. Fear and uncertainty reigned in those early years, following scenes of Demetrius not wanting to further incur the threat of the heavens. The few who survived the fall took to wandering the land, spurning magic and staying to the shadows, and so they lived for decades. One man, however, grew tired of this life, if it could be called that, and after bidding his companions farewell, climbed across knoll overlooking forest of beech and wood. Here he gathered a pile of rubble and used it to build humble shelter in which he spent the night. The next morning, however, instead of abandoning his work, as was his people found, he gathered more rocks, adding to the structure until the shelter had become a shack. This he continued for days, weeks, until the shack had become a home. At first, those few founders who passed the knoll would shun him, cursing the man under their breaths for her hubris. But as his estate grew, and one building became two, and two to three, the people began to slow their steps, and it wasn't long before some took to joining him on that knoll, gathering stones, building new lives, new destinies. This they did without magic or machines, without boon or blessing. They relied on naught but their hands, their backs, their wills, and each other, and slowly house gave way to village, village to towns, and towns to nation. The man would one day die, as all men do, but those who remained continued his legacy, expanded upon it, and though his name was eventually forgotten, his spirit lies unto this day in the hearts of all Rosarians. Legend of the Founder, most chronicle.
You wish to study the tomes?
I just look a couple. Leader of the faction believed responsible for the settling of Greg's head in AD 73. With his single act of infamy, Sid's name quickly spread to the four corners of Valistia and beyond. Established under leadership of Clive Rosfield, who took on the title of Sid after his former leader's passing, and the Titan destruction of Old Hideaway, here a community of like-minded individuals from across the realm has scattered to build a place where people can live and die on their own terms. Like its predecessor, it's built within 4 ruins deep within the dead lands of Central Storm. Decidedly unlike its predecessors, however, it's located in the center of Lake Penamur. It's in the center of the lake, across whose waters invading enemy can easily be spotted long before their arrival. So this is the reason why this is a safe place. It is on the lake, so you are able to see your enemies far, far away before they come. Vivian 9 tells, a scholar and strategist who makes her home in the Hideaway, analyzing every thread of information that comes in from the wider world in order to divine the disposition of realm's armies and those who lead them. She offers her insight to Clive that he might better understand the lay of the land. The Monica 9 tells, of which she herself is fond, was gifted her by her fellow scholars in recognition of her ability to speak at length on almost any subject. Friend of Sid's and later Clive's, who keeps an ever-attentive vigil on the comings and goings in Dalmatia from his hometown of Kostnice. Okay, this was previously. There was this big cat town located in the rugged northeastern reaches of the Dalmatian Republic. Though it was once the thriving trading post, the coming of Blight has served to both discouraged travelers as well as drive of long-time residents. All that now remain are refugees fleeing from elsewhere, the black marketeers who prey upon them, and barely enough soldiers to keep the peace, or rather to pretend to when they are not being bribed to look the other way. Wall of Hideaway, an assault by Harpocrates, dominant of Titan, and his private guard on the West Hideaway was Seal's outlaw in the year 873. The safe haven established among forgotten ruins long consumed by the Blight was entirely destroyed, and many of Sid's collaborators and peers they had freed from servitude personally. I just look. still lives. He tasks his personal guard with capture and torturing bearers in order to draw out his nemesis and take his revenge. Dion. When Odin took to the field against them in the Battle of Pelan's Tor. Apprentice. He has a keen interest in smithing and spends what little spare time he is granted heating and hammering metal such as blackthorn showed him. With Ajekchar, where they serve him in same capacity, they serve his predecessors, sourcing whatever supplies her fellow residents are in need of. Otto. Steve steward of Clive's Hideaway, Otto continues to serve the same role he did under Seed, being the primary person in charge of all motives and information coming into and going out of the Hideaway. He has taken the orphaned teen twins, Ted and Crow, as his apprentice, though they had yet to prove the most attentive audience. After being thrown out on the city street as punishment for a minor mistake, it was his fortune to be found by Otto, who took him back to the Hideaway. Aha, there's opponents. Muistin. Okay, this is kitchen stuff. Colleagues have carried her at the type of the dame. She wasn't spared. The tragedy of losing both her mother and father when Sid's heart was let low. Okay, these are the twins. Emperor of Holy Empire Sunbreaker, who founded his throne at least partly by virtue of his son Dion having awakened as dominant of Baham. So, okay, here is the king, kind of. High Cardinal. First and foremost of the 5 cardinals who make up the Council of Elders, second only to the Holy Emperor in the imperial government, it is his role to lead the Council in governing Sunbreaker in the Emperor's stead, and providing the latter doesn't overrule his decision, his authority is absolute. Here is something about Ultima, which we met in the previous episode. An otherworldly being that Clive encountered in the inner sanctum of Drake's Head. He addressed Clive as Mythos before attempting to merge their consciousness. However, Clive was able to summon the will to resist the creature before Joshua returned from the dead, to imprison it in a cage of flame that he sealed away in his own heart. there is mysterious woods. Okay, there is traitor. What about lay of the land? I just checked this new place. A lake in the blighted lands of the southern edge of the former Grand Duchy of Rosaria, named for the dragon that some tales say created the basin when it fell from the sky. Fallen airships dot its expansive waters like forgotten cenotaphs, leading some to liken it to graveyard. Its remote location, far from any trade and route, and deep inside the Redlands, make it an obvious choice for Clive when faced with rebuilding Sid's legacy. Place of worship located in the depths of Phoenix Gate, an ancient stronghold on the northwestern borders of former Duchy of Rosario. Large mural dominates this sacred chamber, where the rite of ancestral communion, a ceremony carried out by the Duchy dominant prior to marching in the battle, was once performed. I checked this. The brightly shining convolutional shard that sits at the center of each matter crystal when hard sattens, situated as the mountain around it. Since time immemorial, sanctuaries have been built around the hearts of the worship and protection of these irreplaceable treasures. Sacred chambers in which the hearts of the mother crystal are enshrined, believed to have been crafted before the time of fallen. They retain a potency even now, long after mankind has forgotten their significance. By checking Ramu followed now claims to may have been part of the tribe's comparative dance learning. Ramu is associated with wisdom and judgment to this day. Okay, Typhoon. Screaming dawn to the destruction of the heart of Drake's head. Ultima emerged from a tear in reality, wearing the skin of Typhoon, featured a wizened colossus and reared to Clive into space between worlds, fearing the ethereal entity might test his worth as a vessel. These were mysteries. Are these Ultima straws? Twisted, glowing blue creatures that awaited Clive and chilled deep in the Phoenix Gate to try and prevent them from gaining innermost recesses of Abjecra. And there is explanation for Akashi Dragon, the irreversible change brought about by a living being overexposure to ether. Creatures are stripped of any intelligence or sense or self they may once have had, and become suffused with life force, usually manifesting in extreme strength and aggression. Flora can also turn resulting in the twisted overgrowth. Those with ethereal tolerance, however, such as dominance and bearers, are less likely to turn aggressive. There is this, what it was in the previous episode. A wall painting found in the depths of Apothecary under Phoenix Gate, who created it, and for what purpose is as known. But the celestial being in the center suggests some connection to a long-lost relation. There is something, okay, I check these mysteries. The name by which Ultima addresses Clive, it appears to be his title for the vessel of limitless power that he means to make of the young Lord Marquis, but to what end he requires such a thing, only Ultima knows. Vessel, a name that being known as Ultima gives to Clive, it appears to synonyms with mythos.
You are always welcome, Clive.
Return to your chambers. So this has been more like exploration of this hideaway. It gets familiar. Here is full of the memories.
Not back a blink and you're already off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Otto stole us. All right, I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
What could Gav have thought worthy of a letter?
Once the hall's swept, it's over to the Tavern Crown for me.
Here must be a letter. But I checked these.
Otto was here earlier with a letter from Gav. He left it on your desk.
I just check what is the view like. And here is something full of memories. What is this? The oath. Oath. Details. The oath. Aha, okay, now I remember. This is when we joined. Created the day Clive pledged his alliance to Sid, his crystal's heart transfixed with twin daggers is a powerful reminder of promise made, a friendship forged, and legacy inherited. So this is our first full of memories. Okay, we have our own message system here. The reading table reports letters and other important missives addressed to Clive are delivered to the hurricane table in his chambers. New messages are always arriving, so make it a point to check the reading desk upon returning to the Hideaway. Republic's play. The Republic army marches on the Empire at Twinside, and the men of the Rock have been summoned to the front. Something big is brewing, I reckon. I see you are done to wear upon my return.
What does Gav have to say?
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kuka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance, the one we've been waiting for.
There is
How far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the Hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear. The crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now? Now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima.
So he really knew that Joshua was there.
If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does. To a world without mother crystals. That's it.
The world without matter crystals.
So the North is lost.
I knew that the Blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother. Are our efforts in vain?
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to... intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well.
The gathering storm.
What would make Martha leave the rest?
Something has happened to Martha. We need to speak with Otto.
And I think this might be a good stopping point. So this time it was more like getting familiar with the new Hideaway in the middle of the sea or middle of the lake. I want to thank you all for watching or stopping by.